Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're opening up a brand new case file. Our subject? A microscopic parasite called Leishmania chagasi. And let me tell you, this tiny organism has a really complex life and, as we'll see, a truly global reach.
So let's kick things off with a bit of a mystery. How does a tiny stowaway, something that's usually found in the tropical parts of the Americas, suddenly show up in clinics in places like Amsterdam? I mean, this culprit is so small it works on a cellular level, but its impact can be huge.
All right, let's get into it. Here's our game plan for this investigation. First, we're going to meet the culprit. Then, we'll track its journey across the globe. We'll look at its life cycle, its whole method of operation. After that, we'll see what happens when it infects a host. And finally, we'll check out how we can detect and defend against it.
Okay, first things first. In any investigation, you've got to know who you're dealing with, right? So let's get a formal ID on the organism at the center of this whole case. So, here's the thing. This is absolutely crucial to understand. We're not talking about a bacterium or a virus here. Our subject, Leishmania chagasi, is actually a protozoan, a much more complex single-celled organism.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how we classify this thing. It's an endoparasite. Think of it like an inside agent. It's not hanging out on the surface of its host. Oh no, it gets inside and actually operates from within the host's own cells. Pretty sneaky.
All right, so we've got our ID. Now let's play detective and track its trail. Where in the world do we actually find this parasite? And how is it managing to travel so far?
You see, for a really long time, the trail of Leishmania chagasi was pretty much confined to these specific tropical and subtropical areas. People knew about it, for sure, but it was seen as a geographically contained health problem.
And this is what really highlights the challenge we face today. This is no longer just some distant problem. With people and their pets traveling all over the world, it's popping up more and more in clinics across Europe. What was once a regional issue is fast becoming a global one.
Okay, so how exactly does this parasite make the jump from one place to another, from one host to the next? To get our heads around that, we need to take a look at its method of operation, which is, honestly, incredibly clever.
Right, this is the absolute core of its survival strategy. See, Leishmania chagasi can't just complete its life cycle in one spot. It's actually engineered this really sophisticated two-part system that depends on two totally different hosts, a tiny insect and a much, much larger mammal.
It's basically a two-host heist, and it's brilliant. The parasite uses this little sandfly as its personal taxi to get around, and then it uses a mammal, like a dog or a human, as a replication factory. And get this, it even changes its disguise to survive in each environment. In the insect, it's this mobile little thing with a tail called a promistogote. But in the mammal, it transforms into a stealthy, hidden form called an amistogote, hiding right inside our cells.
So what happens when the parasite's little operation is successful? What does it actually look like when an infection takes hold inside the human body? Let's take a look.
Well, the disease it causes is called visceral leishmaniasis, and it is serious stuff. The parasite goes after major internal organs, especially the spleen and the liver, and that leads to these really severe body-wide symptoms. And the scary part is, if it's left untreated, it can absolutely be fatal.
Now here's a really crucial point. The outcome of this battle that's raging inside the body, it isn't just about the parasite, it's also about the host. A person's own immune system plays a huge role in determining just how sick they're going to get. Okay, so the parasite is in, the body is fighting back. How do we help? Let's look at the tools that scientists and doctors actually have in their toolkit to find and fight back against Leishmania chagasi. You know, doctors have a whole range of options to get a positive ID. They can literally look for the parasite itself under a microscope in a tissue sample. Or they can look for the fingerprints it leaves behind, things like its DNA using a PCR test, or even the antibodies our own bodies produce to try and fight it. And then you've got these rapid antigen tests, like the RK39, which are super useful for getting a quick diagnosis out in the field. And it's really interesting to see how treatment differs depending on where you are in the world. In a country where the parasite isn't common, like the Netherlands, cases are handled with these really specific national protocols, usually at a specialized center. But that's pretty different from the broader international guidelines you see from organizations like the WHO. Out there, the choice of drugs can change a lot based on the region and the specific local species of the parasite.
So detection and treatment are great, but they're reactive, right?
You're fighting an infection that's already there. So the big question is, what are we doing to get ahead of this parasite? How do we stop infections before they even have a chance to start?
Well, prevention is really a three-pronged attack. First prong, you go after the vector, that little soundfly taxi. Second, you focus on personal protection, using things like insect repellent and bed nets. And third, you have to control the reservoir. That usually means managing the infection in animal populations, especially dogs, because that's where the parasite loves to hide out between human infections.
Looking ahead, the fight is all about getting smarter. We're talking about developing better drugs that are less toxic and can beat drug resistance. Researchers are also looking into completely new kinds of therapies. But the ultimate goal, the holy grail, is a human vaccine. And there's real hope there, especially building on the progress we've already seen with vaccines for dogs.
Now, to put this whole case file together for you, we used a Gemini deep search. That's what helped us pull together and make sense of all the information from a whole bunch of different scientific sources.
And hey, we believe in showing our work. If you want to see a detailed list of all the scientific papers and reports we used, just check out the Notebook LM document we've linked for you in the description below.
So if you found this investigation interesting, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives just like this one. And definitely let us know what you think down in the comments.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world that's more connected than ever, the journey of Leishmania chagasi is just a powerful reminder, isn't it? It shows us that the microscopic world and our world, well, they're linked in ways we're only just beginning to fully understand.